All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's 12:33. Let's go ahead and get started with our Gallaudet Staff Council meeting. This is our last week of the spring semester. It's commencement week, it's BOT week, it's a busy week. So I hope you're all doing well. You are making the most of your time. You are celebrating maybe graduates that you know, looking forward to some updates from the board. So I believe it's going to be a good week this week. So let's go ahead and get started. So we've met quorum, so we've called the meeting to order. All the reps who are here, thank you so much for coming today. First, I would like to approve the minutes from our previous meeting back in April. Great, thank you so much, Andy, for sharing that. Oh, yes, Joshua?
I move to approve the minutes as written.
Okay, second by Jamie. Thank you so much. Yes, Andy?
Okay, I'm just going to go with the approval. I did want to add, we also had an MSCHE report that's not in the minutes, but we'll go ahead and approve that with the understanding that the addition of the notes regarding the MSCHE report has yet to be amended or appended.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you catching that and adding it. So I'll go ahead and get started with my report. As I mentioned earlier, we're nearing the end of the semester. This year, as you know, has been incredibly eventful. We've all tried our best to do our job under the current circumstances, to try to make sure that students have a great college experience, which is the priority. Also, that includes our Clare Center students as well. And I really want to acknowledge and recognize all the hard work from everyone this year. The Clare Center still has a month to go. We are ending this week, but I really want to acknowledge and recognize everyone for the hard work, for being there, for not giving up. Looking forward to more things to come our way, hopefully to go back to quote unquote normal sometime soon. So let's work together and let's plan for that to have our safe return to campus and work. I hope the information here helps all of you as you get ready to our return to campus. We want to make a Gallaudet a place of belonging and equity. That was messaging coming from DEDI, Dr. Elizabeth Moore. I don't know if you've seen that, but if not, go click on that link and you have access to that. So if you haven't read this communication, feel free to read it or watch the video and you'll get an idea on how you can get involved, how you can support these efforts. And if you may have some ideas, thoughts, or concerns, please feel free to, again, go over this and see in what way you might be able to support this work to make campus a safer and better place for everyone. Next, we have the collaborative that's going on, focusing on social justice and racial equity. That's also from the EDI. The nomination letter is here, and it's going to pull it up so you get an idea of what that looks like. And that is going to be shared later today with the community at large. Just take a quick glance. I have to read the whole thing right now. Again, thank you, Andy. That collaborative group, it's a 2-year commitment. So you'll be taking on those additional responsibilities, and you will be reporting to those stakeholders. Hopefully, we're getting those nominations. The nomination form. We felt like we weren't able to nominate someone specifically based on what we saw in this nomination form. So we decided that we wanted to send it to the entire community to see whether yourself or you may know someone. So do send those potential nominations to GSC with the same questions that you see asked here in the form. Maybe whoever you feel it's best. So I'm not entirely sure right now, but once we get those nominations, we send them over to the EDI, and I don't know how they're gonna do their selection process, but that's how we would like to do it from our side at GSC. To have to ensure that there's GSC representation in that collaborative. I'm going to be sending out that letter later today, so please make sure to carefully read it and either nominate yourself or someone else that you think might be a good fit. Remember, this is a 2-year commitment, and it comes with a lot of responsibilities. But it is important to make the progress that we're looking to make. All right, so more to come on that. Last week we had our return to work town hall. It was very well attended. We had around 200 and some change people there. It was very informative. It was to share updates of what's coming. And it's not going to stop there. There's going to be more to come. So specifically to last week's town hall, it was recorded. I will be sending it out to everyone soon. Any questions come up to you when you watch that, I will let you know what you can do next with those questions. In terms of future town halls that might be hosted, the university is trying to figure out when that's going to be, whether it's going to be a webinar or a town hall, or it's focused on specific groups on campus, whether they're students, staff, faculty. Maybe it's going to be a combined one. The university is still figuring out what that's going to look like, and they're working that out to make sure we can fit it into the schedule. So they're still working out on those details as of now. When I know more information and the dates, I will communicate that. University of Communications is also going to communicate that, but I will also communicate it with you. So that is on hold for the moment while the university figures this out. As we prepared, make sure to think about the questions that you might have in terms of what's coming next. All right, so more on that coming soon. If you have any thoughts or feedback, something that you wish would have been addressed, please send it to me, send me an email, and we'll be happy to collect that and try to improve from last town hall, something that you thought might have been missing or needed more of. So make sure to communicate with us your needs on what should be improved. And our goal is to make sure that this is a safe return for everyone. All right, we have the board meeting. We'll start this Thursday. Oh, actually this week, really. GSC will be part of the Thursday morning session for their steering committee, their finance steering committee. It's 10:30 to 11:30. Remember, this is a public session, so you are welcome to attend if you wish. And this is what our report to the board says. Andy, do you mind opening it? Thank you. I'll turn off my video so you all have a chance to read this. All right. That is our report to the board. We did a lot, but now that we could do more, and we will do more once we're back on campus, and then we'll have more to report. But thank you for your involvement in all GSC efforts and helping us improve our group, our governance group. So thank you all for your support, truly appreciate it. So the public schedule for the board, if you are interested on attending, that has been emailed, but I have included it here for your convenience if you want to attend any of those public sessions. Our monthly meeting with the president was canceled last April. Our next one is going to be on May 19th. If you have anything you want us to bring to the president's attention, any concerns, any important matters, do let us know. We'll be more than happy to add that to our agenda for our next meeting with the president. The University Council meeting, again, that's our monthly meeting. We had our last one on April 21st, and we will resume those in September. If there are some very important topics, the president can make a decision to call a meeting as needed between now and September. The Summer Steering Committee is still meeting every Friday afternoon from 2 to 3:30. We are planning for our Jumpstart program, a new student orientation, what that's going to look like, and working those details out. All the logistics, which, as you know, there's a lot of them involved in this. Some of the key factors are whether the university will require everyone to be vaccinated. That might help us with the planning of the dates, arrival dates, the needs for quarantine. So we have to wait for more updates before we can finalize those plans. I remember the festival idea was discussed at one point. However, right now it is on hold and it's not part of our current summer plan. In terms of the budget, we submitted our proposed budget for fiscal year 2022. It's the same 17,500. We've had money left historically, so we have decided not to ask for an increase, just the same budget that we've had for the past couple of years. So if you have any concerns, you want to bring something to anyone's attention, feel free to fill out the GSC submission form and send it to me. And I will work with you to either solve that issue, acknowledge or recognize something or someone. That is my report as chair. I will turn it over to Jared, but Jared is not here. So Andy, would you like to share your report?
I have a report. Yeah, something around the voting. Do you want me to go ahead and talk about that or turn it over to Andy?
So why don't you start, Andy, and then we'll turn that over to Josh. Do we want to start with Jared's report and then we'll turn it over to you, Josh? So Andy, please go first.
Okay, hey everyone. The report from the Staff Advocacy Task Force. We have taken all that information and shared and asked a meeting with Dominic Lacey, who is our Chief Operating Officer. And we met with him to discuss about the need to increase and focus in house for what we're doing with pay in terms of faculty, their family, the cost of living, and all of that. So we'll see when that meeting is actually going to take place, and that really completes my report.
I do, however, want to emphasize, I know this week there's a lot going on and we have to wait because of the board. Hopefully next week we'll find time to meet with me, Jared, and Dom to figure out what will be the next steps. So stay tuned. All right, and now let's go with Josh Miller for the governance and committee.
Thank you. First of all, I apologize for the VC delay in the time because we made a request last week to have a report call, but I will send it to you after we've done this discussion. So as far as voting updates go, today is the last day for a vote. It will end at 11:59 this evening. For representatives, for academic affairs, the COO's office, the president's office, and the Clare Center division, plus the vice chair. The staff has already received their ballots through email. That was sent out May 5th from the gsc.elections@gallaudet.edu. We also sent out a reminder to everyone through email and MyGU. And we're also sending out an email to also VLED from the vice chair also that deals with his experiences regarding, and I'm referring to the current vice chair, what his experience has been, what requirements are of the position, how it is overseen and its operations. Tomorrow, all of us will vote. So we'll be taking count of all the ballots, and then we'll make a determination as to which candidates have received the largest number of votes, and then they will be installed in those seats that I've just listed for you. This is the candidates, and we'll let you know what the results of the votes are. We'll let them know first, and then they have 24 hours to either apply for a grievance if they feel that in some way that there's something went wrong with the voting. So if there are any objections after that 24 hours, then that's too late. So your deadline is to raise any issues prior from the moment that you find out to 24 hours. And we will have all the final information sent to the community this Friday, as well as the time. I also wish to emphasize for the ballots that we've sent out, there is no candidate for the president's office nor for the vice chair at this time, which means that you can do a write-in if you want. There are some names that people have been putting down. So what's going to happen in that case, once we've gotten all the official results done, we're going to look at what's going on with the president's office and the vice chair, see who's been written in, and look and see which names come up the most. And then we'll reach out to that individual and say that you have been either for the president's office rep or for the vice chair, and ask them if they're interested in taking that position. If they are, then they can do it. They can be considered as elected. If they don't, then that's fine. What we will do then is we will have a look at the next name on the write-in list who got the most votes. So we also want to give people an opportunity to be able to answer yes or no to that, because of that, this process may take several weeks. If the results remain the same, we still end up with no presidential rep or a vice chair, then we may have to create a special election later on down the road. Because I know that for the vice chair position, certainly we need one. And also really the president's representative is also an important position as well. Also, if you have any questions or concern with respect to the elections, if you want to know a little bit more about how that runs, go to gsc.election@gallaudet.edu. We are pretty good about responding to those very quickly. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah, today is the last day to vote. So a friendly reminder to everyone, get your votes in by the end of the day, whether it's a candidate that's on the ballot or a write-in person. Someone who might have thought about being nominated or not, but again, today's the last day. So with that, we can move on to our next agenda item. We have our member at large report, so that we'll turn it over to Andy.
There are specific items I want to share with you from the previous AMT meeting. We met earlier in April. So some of the information may be a little outdated at this point. Like, for example, the message there, it says something like, we have total registered numbers of students for the summer sessions. The numbers have obviously increased since that last report. So we don't have the new numbers yet. The AMT will be meeting again tomorrow. And at that point, we'll be able to get that information. Two things I did want to emphasize is for Jumpstart. We'll start July 26th through August 20th, and that will be face-to-face in person. We'll be working with also the new student orientation, which will also be face-to-face and in person, which will be an exciting way of dovetailing those two in. For the library, for those of you who have been wondering what exactly is going on with the library, we have been working on the archives area, the books and the storage to get everything in preparation for the fall. Currently, we are developing different service models because no one actually can go into the library while it's being renovated. So we're trying to determine how we can actually get the materials that we need for students, faculty, and or staff. And if people want to be able to borrow and check out items from the library, what is the process for that? So there's some models around that. There's courier service, which is if you reserve a book, then the library will then email let you know that the book is ready to go. And then you can meet someone outside the library who will give it to you. So it's kind of like the same thing with the drop-off. It would work in reverse. So there are different service models. So we're trying to find what is going to best meet the community's needs. As for the museum, the Gallaudet Museum, currently we are also doing construction there to collect and establish the Black Lives Matter exhibit. Also from Academic Affairs, you know that they have their annual time in the semester where they have Professional Development Week, which usually starts prior to the semester beginning. So it'll happen August 16th through August 20th this year, and it will be done virtually so that everybody hopefully will be able to be involved without us needing to make any restrictions as to how many people can fit in a location and what would be safe, social distancing, etc. So this will all be done virtual for faculty and staff who wish to attend. For those of you who work with international students or in any sort of international affairs, to remind you that if you have students who are asking you a lot of questions about how to get back to school, what are the quarantine requirements, what courses will be available, what immigration issues are coming into play, please have them contact Jarvis Grinstaff, and he was the one who will best be able to let people know what's going on and report back on all of those questions. So, Madam Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Andy. Now we have our Faculty Center report. I'm actually going to ask you to come back and speak on behalf of Jackie.
So we were sharing fairly recently this faculty and staff notes and minutes and so forth, which I can put up here for you to see from the Faculty Senate, excuse me. If you'd like more depth responses or want to see more information, there are links within the report that you can go into if you, as I said, want to take a deeper dive into what's going there. If you have any other questions around this, feel free to contact GSC or Jacqueline Lally directly for more information. That concludes this part of my report.
Thank you again, Andy. So now our Middle States report. With that, I'm going to invite Crystal Harris, who is the co-chair for the Middle States Report Committee. Crystal,
Hello, hello, hello.
and is there any way you can put your video on landscape? Oh, beautiful. Perfect.
Is that better?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, hello, everyone. So I'll just tell you in brief what we know about the MSCHE. Tomorrow, we'll be having a meeting with the Board of Trustees, which will go pretty much all day, looking at and taking a pulse of the university. And by that, I mean having discussions with everyone from the president's office to the staff, to the steering committees about what's going on with Gallaudet. Gallaudet's promise, its goals, what it has achieved from the past report till now, and that will be going on tomorrow. Then we're going to have an open meeting tomorrow as well at 10:30. And I would like to invite more of the staff to attend. The reason is that there is heavily attended by faculty, and staff really don't have much of a voice there as a result. So I'm going to give you a link so that you can go in there and attend the meeting if you want to, and if you want to attend that meeting tomorrow. And if you're able to, please do. Also, I just lost my train of thought here. Oh, for the steering committee, that has been set. There's going to be 7 people leading. And very soon we plan to start recruiting more staff to be involved. People who are coming from different backgrounds, etc., to be part of this. And what we're going to be doing is working with the steering committee to start getting together information regarding any number of topics and issues that we can add to that self-study. If that sounds like something that it would be interesting to you or you would like to get involved with, please contact me or with Billy Ennis and let us know. And we're still catching up. There have been some delays in what we've been doing. We're hoping that by August, everything will be up and running and ready to go. And that is going to be it's a 2-year commitment, by the way, and it is a lot of work. All right, so thank you very much. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Crystal, for all your work with being the Middle States rep.
My pleasure.
Again, thank you.
My pleasure.
So let's move on to old business. Anything that anyone would like to bring up? Seems like not. Let's do a quick pulse check. Let me check the chat. If you have anything that you want to comment on, any concerns you'd like to share with us, something that you might be hesitant about, you want to recognize someone for exemplary work, you want to follow up on something, or you want to bring back something that we've done away with. So let me look at the chat. Is it possible to share the link for the 10:30 meeting tomorrow? Yes, I have not received it yet. Once I receive it, I will email everyone via blast. So that way you can attend hopefully to tomorrow's 10:30 meeting. I will share that later today. Anything else? Yes, Josh.
Just a reminder to everyone that the COVID testing schedule has shifted. It won't be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays any longer. It will be Mondays and Wednesdays instead, but at the same time, 8:30 to 2:30, and it will still be in the same locale NPR.
Thank you so much for that, Josh. In the website, the Gallaudet Way Forward, there's an operations plan that has been posted. So make sure to look at your respective departments and have that ready to make sure that the PHA task force can approve your plan. So talk to your managers, your teams about what the operation plan is going to be and submit that as soon as possible. They don't leave it to the last minute because we don't want to inundate them with too many last minute plans. So please get that to them as fast as possible so we can have a safe return to work. So everything was posted on the Gallery Way Forward yesterday. So if you missed it, you can see it again this week. So you can click on all that information and then discuss with your department about the return plans. Mondays and Wednesdays, that's when the COVID testing happens. Monday and Wednesdays, 8:30 to 2:30. All right, let me see if there's anything else for the pulse check. Reps, anything you want to add? Any concerns? Anything you might be unsure about maybe last week's town hall? Any feedback about the town hall? Okay, Josh.
There were a lot of questions that I don't think got answered that I'm assuming will be carried over into the next town hall, or will they be answered via email prior to the next town hall?
Good question. Yes, there were some questions left unanswered due to time. Hopefully in the next town hall, we want to address those, but we don't want to keep people waiting on some of the updates about the wins. So maybe there'll be a webinar of sorts to maybe address these questions as part of that webinar. So if something was asked and answered in the first town hall, it probably is not going to be addressed in the webinar, but anything that was left unanswered, we will try to address those new questions. Okay, question from Felicia. When we return to campus, do we all need to be tested for COVID after we have had the vaccine? The answer is yes. Regardless of your vaccination status, you need to be tested for COVID when coming to campus. There are some people that might have received the vaccine and might still be carriers and be asymptomatic, and we don't have enough information about that. So yes, we still require everyone to get tested. All right, anything else? All right, going once. All right, we can move forward. We are available to you. You know how to find us. So anytime event, oh, I think something came up. If we have annual leave plan and we'll be out of the office on Monday and Wednesday, any advice about testing? So if you don't have the opportunity to get tested on those days, so for now, summer will stay Monday and Wednesdays. If you miss the opportunity, you have to work it out with the COVID team to be able to access that testing the following week. If it doesn't work for you to get tested in the within 3 weeks, the Strand team might ask you to work off campus until you can get tested on campus. For the fall, I suspect we're going to be expanding the testing hours. Going to be doing more days of the week and more times because there will be influx of people coming to campus. So I am sure that we'll be expanding testing hours. I'm not sure what the schedule is going to be. That is still to be determined. Absolutely, Beth. Anything else? Correction to interpretation, you will be asked to be tested off campus if you don't have the opportunity to be tested on campus. All right, so it seems like there's nothing else from our participants. So for next month's meeting, we will be introducing a new rep who will be starting July 1st. So very much look forward to meeting that individual and then meeting all of you. Again, their start date is July 1st. So looking forward to meeting the new reps and the new members of the team. Really, I really appreciate the current team for your arduous work with GSC. So there's no new business at the moment. the information for our next meeting on June 8th. Looking forward to seeing you there. And the university staff meeting will be to be announced. So with that, thank you so much for coming today. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. Thank you to everyone, and thank you to the interpreters. Goodbye. Have a good day, everyone. Our meeting is adjourned at 1:15 p.m.